Welcome to IDTV. I'm your host, Kyle Murphy, and we are closing out our 2018 season. Gun violence in our country continues to be a nationwide epidemic that continues to get worse, and we need to talk about it. On this episode, we are having a panel discussion to explore possible solutions. Then, we'll move on to a more comedic video about broadcast media services here at City College. Finally, our musical guest, Derek Bernard, will hit the stage. But first, let's watch a promo video by media arts students who are passionate about video, audio, and radio. They represent the BEMA Club. They offer opportunities for students to gain hands-on experience and invite you to join their exciting club. So check out this video produced by Club President Toni Mobley.
BEMA stands for Broadcast, Electronic, and Media Arts. We are students here at the college campus who are passionate about radio, about podcasting, about audio, video. And did I tell you that we just recently relaunched our KCSF radio station right here in this space?
The history of KCSF, I should say. We had the professor who is Dr. Cecil Hill, and he was the first DJ that aired Michael Jackson. So that's the part of the history that we have. So we had somebody very knowledgeable giving us as much as he can, knowing the aspect of radio. When he retired, there was no one that took his place, and it just faded away. Now with the BEMA Club, we have KCSF up and running 24 hours.
From turning on the system, to plugging in your show, to turning off the system. So don't worry that you're inexperienced. Come on in, learn with us, grow with us, have fun with us. Nick Harder is on board. He'll show you everything you need to know.
My name is Nicholas Harder. I'm the Director of Programming at KCSF Radio. My role at the BEMA radio station is I'm the Director of Programming, but I'm more than the Director of Programming. So I'm here to meet you wherever you're at with your idea for a radio show. So even if it's just some kind of vague, like, oh, I kind of want to talk to people and I also want to have music, and I don't know, maybe I want to get some interviews with some local shop owners or something. Whatever your crazy idea is, I'm here to help you hone that in and make it a reality. And then also schedule you on the airwaves. That's my job too, so I'm the time dude. So the radio program works. We have time every Tuesday from 12 to 3 and every Wednesday from 2 to 4. You can come in, and Tuesdays I will be here, and Wednesdays Felix is here. And we'll show you the equipment, we'll show you how to use the equipment, we'll talk to you about your show, your idea, and get you familiar with everything, have a trial run or two, and then you can come in on the studio on your own, have your show. There's even a way to broadcast from home, which we'll talk more about when you come in.
And what the BEMA Club does is we are responsible for hosting activities like workshops, guest speakers. So that's a very fun side of being a member of the BEMA Club.
It's called Black Towns USA. And Black Towns USA is about the history of black towns in America. Somebody talks about the black town itself, and then we wrap it up. It's like a half-an-hour show. We usually air at 3 o'clock on Wednesdays or 5:30 on Wednesdays, but sometime on Wednesdays. And it's just very educational. I wanted 20 years ago to do broadcasting. I just was not right time. But I like radio because I feel like I have a lot of freedom to be an on-air personality. I don't have to worry about my looks being a certain way. I don't have to dress a certain way, as you can probably tell. I just be who I am and be a radio personality and just be able to shine with that personality without worrying about my makeup's right, my teeth okay, my feet all right. Just be able to just do what I want to do and enjoy it.
So join the BEMA Club. Bring your talent, bring your passion. We'll see you here.
In response to mass shootings in the last few years, more than 20 states have passed new laws restricting how people can buy and carry guns. With the current conversation in Sacramento, the focus on gun policy has never been more important for Californians. In the media, there's been an increase in coverage on mass shootings and police gun violence, but little coverage on gun policy reform. Today, we will be focusing on solutions. Hello everyone, I'm Andrea Medina, and we're joined today with 4 guests to discuss these very important issues. First, we have Kyle Murphy, a U.S. veteran. Next, we have Colleen Fatou from City College Administration of Justice and also a former SF police officer. Hello, Colleen. Followed by Ruel Cordero, who is pro-Second Amendment and a private citizen. Hello, Ruel. And finally, Yaqub Mansour, who is a gun control advocate. Hello.
Hello.
The New York Times in 2015 reported that criminals in California use 6,000 guns traced back to other states such as Arizona and Nevada, 2 states with very lenient gun laws. What are ways we can prevent criminals from trafficking guns undetected? I can start with you at the end.
Okay. Well, that's going to what I was saying earlier. It's a problem where you can have cities like Baltimore or Chicago with strict gun laws, but that doesn't do anything because we have an entire nation where you can get any kind of gun you want at anywhere. You can go drive to Indiana and purchase whatever you'd like and take it into Chicago. So the problem is it's on a national level. We need to be thinking, and not just a national level, it's a global level. It's a global issue that guns basically provide a solution to problems, a violent solution. We should be talking to each other and not using a tool that is intended for warfare. That's what guns basically have been designed for. That's what they evolved to be. Throughout the 600-700 years of warfare, we've been improving guns further and further to the point of where you look at World War I, you look at World War II, you look at our Civil War in this country where we had carnage beyond belief because these guns are so good, they're so accurate, they're so able to maim one another. Having more of them does not improve our situation. It causes problems. We need to look at solutions that Australia, United Kingdom, that Germany have taken on, Japan. You look at these nations, they do not have anywhere to the same level of gun violence that we do. We need to become a little bit more humble and see what are other nations doing in solving their problems with their guns and taking on a very coherent way of dealing with this issue.
Thank you for your input.
Sure.
I'd like to go down the line.
I'm going to refute that. There's no such thing as a lenient gun law. I cannot go to Nevada and buy a gun because I'm a resident of California. I will not need a permit to buy a gun in California. All I need is a driver's license, proof of residence, like a utility bill, and California has instituted this firearm safety certificate, which basically means I answered 25 common sense questions on safety of guns. But on top of that, I wanted to just bring up to you, in 2015, the ATF reported 48,000 cases of straw pretend buyers of guns. 48,000. Yet only 40 were prosecuted. Why was that? The criminal severity to be a straw buyer is either 10 years in jail or $250,000. But yet, how do these folks in Indiana get the guns to Chicago? They'll get their significant other, their girlfriend, their best friend, their cousin, their auntie to buy the guns for them, and then they'll say, oh, it got stolen. All they have to do is crack down on that and enforce the laws that's already in the books, and then guess what? You're going to stave off the flow of illegal guns to these cities. Thank you.
Thank you for your input. Colleen?
I agree with what he's saying there. I don't think there's a way to stop them from coming in at this point. I know in San Francisco, lots of the guns that were involved in criminal activity tried historically to go back into the records to find out where they may have been purchased in Nevada and places like that. But again, the hands that they were in when the crime was committed were not the legal hands of the person that purchased the gun. They weren't somebody that had the legal right to own that gun, and oftentimes not even the legal right to possess that weapon, and yet they still do. Again, I think a lot of it is the enforcement of the prosecution. In San Francisco, you know, how many guns do we confiscate? I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, over 500 guns were confiscated in arrest situations. And I want to say there might have been 1 or 2 convictions. very, very minimal. I don't want to necessarily be quoted on that, but the numbers were significant, and I remember thinking, this is outrageous. Why are we not being more proactive in going after, once the officers make an arrest, if they make an arrest for somebody that has a firearm that doesn't belong to them, or stolen firearm used in a crime, why aren't they being prosecuted?
Thank you. Thank you, Colleen. And we're going to move on to Kyle.
Well, I think I'm going to cover just briefly a little bit of kind of what everybody has said so far, and start with leniency in being able to buy guns. I'm a veteran, and I'm unable to purchase a firearm. Don't know why, have been unable to find out why, have kind of been told that if I wanted to know more, that hiring an attorney and going down this lengthy and difficult process would essentially be the only way to do that. Something I'm not really interested in, because at this point I don't really believe I need a gun. I used to carry around a pocket knife, and I've recently even stopped carrying that because I've just kind of come personally to this place where if I'm in this situation, I would like to not need to kill someone. Like, I don't want to kill another human being unless that is like an absolute necessity. And honestly, just carrying the pocket knife around it had led me to a place walking around in dark portions of San Francisco, like having this paranoia and thought of like, man, if somebody was to creep up on me, like, where would I put the knife? Like, how would I do these gross, grotesque things? And just removing that knife from my pocket has led those thoughts away from my mind. Like, I don't have those same crazy thoughts in my head as I'm walking down an alley in the middle of nowhere. And I think ultimately where I'm trying to go with that is that we're not going to stop this undetected traffic. Like, it's already there. They're illegal. They can get them. What we need more of is conversation. We need more people to be empathetic to the issue.
Okay. And I just want to open it up if anyone had a response to some of the panelists. Yes, please.
I just want to quick to Raul. He said that you can't buy a gun anywhere else, but if you go to a gun show, you don't necessarily. You can go bypass a lot of the regulations on purchasing guns, and also you can purchase guns online. And a lot of times you can go around the system and game the system, and then as Colleen mentioned, a lot of these guns can be stolen because there's so many of them. And the other problem here is, look at parents who have guns, whose kids access their guns. This is beyond belief. There's toddlers who are shooting their parents. It's crazy. I mean, the last statistics I have here, in 2013, we had 33,000 deaths from guns and 73,500 non-fatal injuries. I mean, this is a lot of people we're talking about, and it's, and 500 deaths due to accidental negligent discharge. 500 people. This is on an annual basis. There's no reason for us in this country, in this day and age, to have guns. And sure, you might have a disagreement. Oh, what about a tyrannical government? Well, how do you decide what's a tyrannical government? Are we going to go with someone like McVeigh, or are we going to go with someone like who pulled off that stunt back in Oklahoma City? Or are we going to have like Czolgosz, Leon Czolgosz, who assassinated McKinley? Who decides that? Is that on an individual basis, or is it a communal basis?
Yes.
I'd just like to just go on the two points you made, Bianca. On the gun show and on the online, or I go to a brick and mortar, I cannot buy a gun unless, number one, I pass a background check, I produce the proper credentials, my ID, what have you. The loophole that people talk about in gun shows is this specifically. You got two guys out in the parking lot, one guy opens up their trunk, shows them a cache of guns, and then they do an illegal private transfer. Who's doing those transfers? Probably organized crime. But you walk into a legitimate gun show, every vendor in there has to be vetted out, and everyone has to fill out a very extensive federal form if you want to own a firearm. That goes with the gun show, that goes to an online purchase, and that goes to a brick and mortar.
As far as the purchasing, the age, and all that is not going to stop the kind of violence we're having with guns. The guns are out there, they're in the wrong hands, and they get in the wrong hands because of negligence, theft, criminality. If you drive your car now, you're afraid, you don't want to honk your horn. You don't want to give somebody a dirty look because the next thing you think they're going to pull out a gun and shoot you. And that's the kind of stuff that's happening. So when you were talking about walking down the street with a knife in your pocket, not even having a knife in your pocket, not having a gun on you, you think, don't say anything to anybody because you'll never know what's going to happen. And I saw a lot of those cases, road rage. People all of a sudden have a gun, the next thing, instead of just getting out and saying something to somebody, the next thing they're shooting somebody. But again, I think when the media and everybody talks about, the politicians talk about this gun reform as far as buying legal guns, I don't think buying legal guns is the issue right now. There are so many guns out there and they're being purchased, like you said, for a black market by criminals. What do we really do about that? That's the issue that we need to deal with. And the criminals and the mentally ill. And what are we doing about that? Because that's really a big problem. I mean, I don't know at this point, how do we get rid of all the guns in this country? There's so many. It's like, where do you stop because they continue to get into the wrong hands?
Kyle, did you want to finish it up?
Yeah, I think it just comes back to kind of how I ended what I said last time, and it's empathy. It's understanding that, like, yes, there are crazy things happening in the world. There are always crazy things happening in the world. There's 7 billion plus people. And when you put that number in comparison to the tens of thousands, it's like tens of thousands is still a lot. It's a number I'd like to see get even smaller, but I think time and compassion and understanding and these kinds of things where you're putting conversation about these tough issues in front of more people, that's how we get to zero. So.
Well, I just wanted to thank each of you for your eloquent response and being very respectful and starting this discussion, very much needed discussion on gun policy and speaking on topics of gun violence. Well, that's all the time we have today for the panel. Thank you to our guests again for being here and sharing their individual perspective on this very serious issue. Stay tuned for more IDTV.
Ever wonder what it's like working at Broadcast Media Services Master Control at CCSF? Here's a really, really fun behind-the-scenes look at what it's like. Produced by Prentice Sanders. Hey, that's me! Check it out.
I love working in the BEMA department.
I don't know. Working here is okay. Basically do what you want.
Yeah, I mean, I've been working here for the last few months. It's pretty chill. Normally I help people out getting equipment. I take AV equipment to the teachers when they need it. I help people get in and out of the lab. It's pretty relaxed around here. Working with Dana's cool. Working with all the other people is fine.
Working with Prentice? It's pretty bad. It's like watching someone strangle a kitten slowly.
Alright, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Prentice kind of sucks. He's a terrible worker, but what can you do? He creates work instead of doing it. We're forced to pick up all the slack.
You know, I'm a pretty popular guy. People like me.
I hate him. Worst coworker ever.
What a jackass.
I mean, it's not a hard job, but he makes it look hard.
I work with the guy occasionally, but goddamn does he slow things down.
Is he organized? Is he at all good at what he does?
I mean, he's good at not being good at things. It's part of what he does, then yeah, he does great.
You know, I just try to do the best I can every day when I'm here. You know, do I always succeed at that? I don't know. But yeah.
Don't tell him I said that. He's a nice guy, but he still sucks.
This isn't gonna work, dude.
What do you mean? It's not that bad.
It's pretty bad.
I mean, are people gonna get this ending? It's kind of weird and meta.
This is kind of weird and meta, dude. Like, I don't even think we even have the rights to see deep inside CCSF. Like, Sherry O'Carey has been sending us cease and desist letters for like months now.
I don't care. The only thing I'm worried about is whether or not it's funny.
I mean, is this funny?
I hope so.
Only one way to find out.
I don't even care anymore. This died 2 edits ago. I'm just ready to be done.
What are you talking about, Prentice? Where's your passion? Where's your fire? What do you got, summaritis or something? We have to make this one final push to make the best possible project BEMA has to offer. City College of San Francisco. Yeah!
I didn't say any of that shit.
Yeah, I mean, After Effects has gotten pretty advanced over the last few years.
Ditch it.
All right.
Hello everyone, I'm Kyle Murphy with Idtv, and today we're joined in studio by musical guest Derek Bernard, here to play one of his original songs, I Wanna Fall in Love. Hi, Derek. Thanks for joining us.
Kyle, thanks for having me.
For sure. You want to tell us, when did you find your passion for music?
Yeah, good question. So I started playing music when I was, I guess, about 20 years ago-ish, and I've been sort of doing the corporate life for a good 10 years before I kind of realized that I'd prefer to do music than work the rest of my days. There was a kind of moment where I had this sort of deathbed thought. And if I was on my deathbed and I looked back at my life and I was doing corporate project management with my life, and that's what I did with it, would I be happy with that decision? And the answer came back a resounding no. So I saved up some money and quit and started teaching music and kind of making music the thing. And so that's where I'm at today.
It's a good choice. Follow your passions. Tell us a little bit about the song today.
So this song is called I Want to Fall in Love. And I got this song from a dream where we were in this big plaza, and it was like a big community event, and people were writing down lyrics, and a dude gets up on stage and he starts strumming his guitar, and he's singing my lyrics that I wrote down in the dream. And I was like, whoa, that sounded really cool. And he sang this chorus that I loved a lot. And I was like, okay, but how do I make a song out of I Want to Fall in Love without it sounding cheesy to my ears, And so that was the big concern. So there was a friend of mine, he was in his 70s-ish, right? And he said he didn't feel like living anymore. But if another friend of his said, if you fell in love, you'd probably want to stick around for 8 or 9 more years, right? And he was like, so that's kind of what this song is about.
All right, well, great. I think we look forward to hearing it.
Seeing you everywhere, hearing your name from the crowd, from thin air, hearts beating fast as a rush of blood catches a stare that lingered too long. Was that me standing there calling to you, you calling to me? Is that me loving you or you loving me? 'Cause I wanna fall in love, yeah, I wanna fall in love. Feeling your touch accidentally played, sidelong glances caught in the last light of day, trading our smiles in for a lingering kiss, tucked into corners where everyone missed. Me calling to you, you calling to me. Is that me loving you or you loving me? But I wanna fall in love, don't you know I wanna fall in love? Yeah, we're all out here falling in love, and I wanna fall into love. And don't I know that when it all falls down the way that it's likely to, I'll remember the high, the light in your eyes, the sway of you too, and know it's alright, 'cause I wanna fall in love, yeah, I wanna fall in love. You know you said you never would, no you did anyway, and there you go again. I guess you know no matter how you head, you'll find yourself in it, and here we go again and again, making love with you, idly wondering if we're really one, not two. Caught up in the throes, a flash of a smile, the heat in your eyes as the moment burns for a while. I'm calling to you, you calling to me. Is that me loving you or you loving me? 'Cause I wanna fall in love, yeah, I wanna fall in love. Don't you know we're all out here falling in love, and I wanna fall in love.
Thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed our show. Special thanks to all of our guests. Please visit us on our social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Until next time, stay safe, much love, and we'll see you next year.
out from thin air. Hearts beating fast as a rush of blood catches a stare that lingered too long. Was that me standing there calling to you? Are you calling to me? Is that me loving you or you loving me? 'Cause I wanna fall in love, yeah, I wanna fall in love. Feeling your touch accidentally played, sidelong glances caught in the last light of day, trading our smiles in for a lingering kiss, tucked into corners where everyone missed. Me calling to you, are you calling to me? Is that me loving you or you loving me? But I wanna fall in love, don't you know I wanna fall in love? Yeah, we're all out here falling in love, and I wanna fall into love. And don't I know that when it all falls down the way that it's likely to, I'll remember the high, the light in your eyes, the sway of you too, and know it's alright, 'cause I wanna fall in love, yeah, I wanna fall in love. You know you said you never would, no you did anyway, and there you go again. I guess you know no matter how you head, you'll find yourself in it, and here we go again and again, making love with you, idly wondering if we're really one, not two. Caught up in the throes, a flash of a smile, the heat in your eyes as the moment burns for a while. I'm calling to you, are you calling to me? Is that me